Comfortable seat, hands resting somewhere natural, eyes gently closed. Breathing in through the nose, holding the breath in for a moment, letting the breath out slowly, all the way towards empty, where you rest in the empty place for a moment or two, maybe 3 or 4, and then inhale when it's time. Pull that breath in, holding the breath, slowly exhaling, and holding the breath out. So we're going to do this for about 2 minutes. Nasal breathing in, bring the breath in, hold the breath in. Smoothly let the breath out, push the breath out, hold the breath out. And again, when you're ready, let the breath in, pull the breath in actively, hold the breath in, and then let the breath out. So that's passive. Push the breath out, that's active. Hold the breath out. And then letting the breath flow in, pulling the breath in with sort of active energy, holding the breath in, and then letting the breath out, pushing the breath out, holding the breath out. So again, another 1.5 minutes of just that 4-part breathing. One of the most effective remedies for many things, but what I've also noticed with clients that I work with who are suffering from PD is a marshaling of the mind, a gathering of the focus. So by doing this simple internal practice of being present for the inhale, holding the inhale, being present for the entire exhale all the way out, being present for the holding out of the breath. Then inhaling again, being constantly present for all 4 stages of each breath that you take over the course of 2 minutes, or eventually over the course of the entire Qigong, Tai Chi, or yoga, or fitness practice that you do, marshals the consciousness in a very powerful way that is necessary for controlling the state of the nervous system and the body. Another minute, 4-part breathing. And if you've been doing the 4-part breath, you probably notice a shift. It can be very subtle, so you have to pay attention, but a shift of the brain, body, tissue, muscle relationship. Maybe there's areas that softened a little bit, or just a feeling of awareness through to the fingertips and toe tips and everything in between. So keep that generalized sort of reaching out from the brain through the nervous system to all the areas of the body. Keeping that as you open your eyes. Place your hands on your knees or thighs. Let's do 2 of these spinal movements. Tip the pelvis back, slide the hands forward, drop the chin round, opening the back. Then start lifting the chest, lifting the chin, sliding the hands back, elbows back, squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. And again, sliding hands forward, get the most out of each round. Since we're only just doing a few rounds of each of these, you want to really indulge in it, maybe add a little wiggle or a little subtle movement to loosen something up. And then on your way back, drawing back, lifting. All 24 vertebrae getting a little bit of movement and settling back to neutral. Now, act like a boxer. Make little Tai Chi fists, bring them up. And now here, like a boxer doing what's called slipping. When someone punches at the face, you lean. You do a little side lean and drop off to the side. So feel your rib cage actually close on the right side and open on the left. And then back up to center and lean. And then lean. And lean. Do a couple more of those. And just feel that lovely quality of the spine just gently doing its lateral bend. And then see if we can take that into a circle. So you lean to your right and then lean a little forward, almost like you're ducking under something. Come around to the other side and lean back as if you're getting out of the way of something that's coming past your face. And then make a little circle. We're just starting to move the rib cage and then leaning back a bit and around. And let's switch directions. We lean and back. And notice how I've got my hands hugged into my face. There's something that's helpful about that. Make fists, bring them in close to your chin, right? Because it helps gather everything in, and then you can really feel it as you turn that rib cage around. And we're back to center. Bring your hands down, gentle twist, one to each side. Left hand grabbing right outer knee, right hand to right outer buttock, twist. And just think of it as an opportunity to wring out the rag. And release that, back to center you go. Bring out the rag. The other side. Right hand to left knee, left hand to left buttock. Use the hand strength, arm strength to deepen the twist. And then gently release. And we're back to center. Now, arms hanging. So make sure you're forward enough on your chair that your arms can hang as best as they can. And then we shrug up the right shoulder blade and we shrug down and release it, shake it out. Left, shrug up. And release down, shake it out. Both, twice, up. And melt them down. And again, up. And melt them down. Now the right arm only, bring your legs closer together. Shoulder blade goes forward, arm internally rotates. Shoulder blade goes up and back as the arm externally rotates, so the palm faces forward, and then melt the shoulder blade down and under, and come forward and up, back and down. 3 more. Remember, movement. Get large movement of the area. Switch directions. Back, up, over, forward, down. Back, up, over, forward, down. 3 more. So again, it's in this shoulder. And switch arms. Forward, up, back, down. The forward is key because without the forward, we can't really go up and back very much, right? So really, this is the movement people don't often make, this little forward movement, and then the up and back flows right through. One more, sort of exaggerate the forward, and then up and back and down. Switch directions, back, up over forward. And yeah. Two more. So we're decompartmentalizing, releasing where we're stuck. Good. Now both forward and up. Now this one, as the shoulder blade shrugs, bring the elbows up a little so that as the shoulder blades go back, the elbows pull back and you get a little extra something, something there, and then release and drape everything down back to starting position. Again, lean a little forward so you actually kind of round and then come up and over and back and down the back. So all the circles, right? We're creating circular motions and our joints are built to move like this. Therefore, they love it. They really love it. They're like, finally, we're moving in circles again. Let's go the other way. Back, up and over. And not only circles, but spirals, rotations. So here the palms are turned out, the arms are rolling so that now the palms are turned back. So there's all these interesting spirals, circles, little ringing out type movements occurring, and back to neutral. Now the slightly tricky one. Right shoulder blade starts and the left one follows. One and then the other. One and then the other. But it's actually not one and then the other. They're both moving. One is just a little ahead of. And now we switch forward. Notice this sort of wheel spinning, spinning, spinning. One should be high, the other low. One forward, the other back. One down, the other high. And finish. Back to neutral. Now, wider legs. Left hand on right knee, lean over. Circle. So for the circle, that hanging hand comes forward, out, back, in. Forward, out, back, in. Circle. Circle. If you get that circle to feel like it's really nice and open, you might keep that circle moving in the same direction in the shoulder joint, but now you sit up and you get this nice, thorough circle. Let it hang. Switch directions. Now it's back, out, forward, in. Back, out, forward, in. Circle. Circle. Now the same movement in the shoulder socket, but if we sit up, then it becomes a forward circle. Forward, back, forward. And release. Switch sides. So forward, out, back, in. Forward, out, back, in. Circle. Circle. Once you get the circle, then try to do it with softer and softer and softer movement. And then sitting up, and now it's a forward to back circle. And then let it hang. Now it's back, out, forward, in, back, out, forward, in, back, out, forward, in, circle. And circle. Happy joints. And release. Fold, compress the elbows, only to release and let them drape down and find that bounciness. And then soft wrists float up, out, down, up. So that movement right there is sort of unique. It's this unique, look how close to the body my hands are when I'm coming up this way. So shrugging everything up this way and then unfurling it and then down. Let it hang and swing. Again, come up close to the body with the hands, this sort of kind of different position, and then way out, that unfurling, and then shoom, let them swing. 2 more, just like that. Bring it up close to the body. Unfurl it, and then this opportunity to swing and let the shoulder joints swing, right? And just be very empty. 1 more. And then hands come up, forearms, turn palms up and down. Or pronation, supination. So it's really the forearms that are turning. Then turn palms up, wrists move slightly in and out. Get all the way to the fingertips, right? If I tip forward, you can see how the fingers sort of flare in and flare out, almost like little bird feathers. And then fold. Notice how deeply I'm folding the wrist. Down, through, and out. Spin. Down, through, out. Spin. 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 And then if you've got that circle spin, then you can bend elbows as you come back in. And then as you go out, you straighten through the arms. Bend elbows as you come in, out. So now your arm bone's getting a rotation. You can even feel this through the shoulder blades and back. Lean into it, lean back, right? So now we're getting a really interesting experience for all the joints involved. Now pause here. Spin your palms to face out. Now just very simple. Drop the hand through and up and out. Spin. Drop, through, out. Spin. And then flow through that. Spin as you go. And then if you got that, then you can, again, as the wrist goes, fingers go out, you straighten the arms a bit. As they come in, you bend. Out, in, out, in, out, in. Wheels, spinning these wheels. Eventually you can do it as I'm doing here, where I'm the whole arm, the whole shoulder blade, right? So all these movements put together, they start to really create these very interesting moves for us, okay? Hang your arms down. We got our fingers, small, as incredibly small as you can, little like rain pattering, and then get bigger and bigger still, and eventually get to this movement here, right? And the key is all this. So you're really feeling the hands completely go through their ranges. Good. Now, open your hands wide, crane beak. So look at my crane beak here. All 4 fingers, including the pinky, touch the thumb. So it's not something like this, but rather that. And what this does, sort of like the mouth of an octopus or a squid or something, right in there, you want to create that. So this is a crane's beak in Kung Fu and Qigong, right? Little pecking crane's beak, right? So spread and then gather, and really gather from that point there all the way to a point. And then spread, crane beak. Spread, crane beak. One more. Spread and crane beak. Now with the crane beak, move. Sort of like pecking, right? And feel that wrist movement. You can feel something through the hands there, right? That's a good challenge. So when you're pecking there, like Stanley, try to keep your fingers touching. Like this. Right? Good. And then circles. And circles. In the crane's beak and release. Shake them out. And release. Good. Palms turn to face up. Lift chest, chin. Open as much as you can. Pull elbows a little behind you if you can. Open the throat and heart. We're just going to do 2 of these. Then tiger claw into a fist. Wrap around the arm, so the pinky side, elbow side, inner side touch and round, and try to create as round of a position as you can. Again, one more of each. Inhale. Hold that breath in. Feel all that lymphatic system getting that pump through the body, squeezing it through. And then tiger claw into a fist, wrapping, rounding, squeezing, bowing, hold it. And just relax the effort. Back to neutral, arms down. Sit back against the back of your chair, or if you want added challenge, sit at the front edge of your chair for this. Fists, chamber, push, chamber, down, chamber, push, chamber, down. And notice when you chamber, you sort of fold in, so you compress that space and then push, rather than chambering by leaning back, right? Chamber by folding, squeezing that space, and then push, and then chamber and back. Chamber, so you're folding into this golden rooster-like position. Push, chamber, back. Now, kick the leg out, hold it, foot and ankle, point, flex, 4 times. Evert, invert, the little in and out of the foot. Inward circles. Make it go through, through. Outward circles, through, through, through. And chamber, down. Switch, chamber, push, 4-point flex. Evert, invert. Circles inward. Circles outward. Reverse. Down. Scoot to the front edge of your chair if you're not there yet. Make sure you get there. Single leg swivel step. So lift the left ball of foot, swivel on the heel, knee points out, toe points out, lift heel, swivel, knee point in, toe point in, knee out, toe out, knee in, toe in, and open. Walk it back in, internal, external, internal, external, neutral. Out again. So try to get this to where you really feel it originating from the hip. One more and leave it out there. And now we open and hold it there. Slide the hands along the inner thighs to the knees and press open. Press. And then massage that inner thigh. All along that tissue, the groin, perineum area, out to the knee. Clear that space. And then let's walk it in. Other leg. Walk it out and in twice. Or 3 times rather. Hold and in. So getting this corkscrew action of the leg bone in the hip socket to be something your brain has good cognition, good cognitive control of. So you're able to swivel, swivel, swivel. Once more, out this time to hold it out there. And hold. Slide the hands and press. Press open. And then right hand on inner right groin area. Perineum out through inner thigh, out to the knee, and walk it in, internal, external, and neutral. Now both open, close, open, and then close, open, close. 2 more. And just notice the spine and hips are just right in the middle. They're not even moving. Pelvis isn't even moving, just the legs, sort of independent movement there. Good. Now, last one with the hips and legs here. Step your feet a little wider than normal, and then roll to the outer edge of each foot, so the inner edges of each foot come off the ground. And again, just sort of gently press with the hands out and around. So it's sort of this round gesture with the joints. Now, oppositely, in, so the inner edges of both feet come off, or the outer edges of the feet come off the ground and the inner edges are down. And then open. This one's actually very good for the lymphatic system, the inguinal, which means the groin and sort of genital area. The inguinal region has a lot of lymph nodes. And so often that area doesn't get squeezed and released and moved. And so those lymph nodes can become stagnant. So here we're squishing, squeezing. So this is similar to this one that we did here, right? We're doing it for the legs. And roll it in. Last one there. And back to neutral. All right, from our seated position, you can watch first. Chest lift, chin lift, arched back, fold. And then round. And really open up all the back. Stay rounded as you come up, dragging the hands along the legs. As you then lift chest, chin, tip pelvis forward and go right into another round. So join me for this here, the shaking loose of the heavenly pillar. Exhaling down, inhaling up, if that feels natural. One more. Neutral. From neutral, step your feet nice and wide apart. Slide hands out to your knees, fingers go to the inner knees, elbows flared out. This means it's an internally rotated arm position. Fold at the hips, drop your head and neck and ribs inside the shoulders. Feel that little stretch that you can get there. And then all the way back up. Let's do that twice more. So the arms create this little frame, and then we're dropping inside of that frame to create a unique stretch and movement and awareness for the neck and back and skull. And we're back up. Now, please just watch the next one and then join when you understand it. If you already understand it, you can join right away. Dropping in, setting yourself here nicely. Then left elbow and shoulder drop forward as you gently turn rib cage and head to the right. Oh. Then turn back to the middle and switch. Right elbow and shoulder forward and turn. So go ahead and join me now. So bring yourself down into this position, dropped in, and then turn one way, enjoy it. Then turn the other way and enjoy it. 2 more to each side, just taking your time. Keep doing it. I'm going to come up and look and see. So you just keep doing it. Just getting an idea of who's kind of figuring it out. Good. Good. After you're evened out, so you've done equal amounts on each side there, sit all the way back up. And here we go right into the dragon stirring sea. Back, around, forward, all the way through. And once you're on the other side, back, around, forward, all the way way through, switching directions once you get back. Go around and forward and through and around. So we've done 3 in each direction. Back to neutral. Legs back to hip distance or so. 1 sinking chi to the belly as a moment of closing what we just did. So we sort of just did a Qigong series, seated Qigong series, and we're reminding our life force that we let out to play and wander through the body to come back and remember stillness, remember settled, rather than exhaustion. We use this to nourish us, to heal us. Good. And then releasing the hands down. Bring your feet slightly behind your knees, folding at hips until your head gets beyond your toes. Keep going with that forward gesture until your butt's off the chair, and then push down till you rise. Now again at the hips, that's the key. Folding, sinking nice and slow, and then sitting back up. Folding, pushing through the earth. Folding, controlled descent. One more. This time just flow right through. Now, 3 squats without sitting. So this is essentially loading up for a jump. If you were getting ready to jump up onto your countertop, right? You'd sink and go. And in fact, what we would do, we're going to do a couple more that are in fact as if you're going to jump. The arms do something different. The arms come down and go back like this. Because if we were going to jump, you would push through the legs and sling your arms up and jump up onto your countertop. Let's do that twice more. So feel this as a loading. You're loading, getting ready, and then slowly but with power, unload. Loading, unload, right through. Good, and just drop your arms down. Now our Tai Chi. Find your feet, open ankles, open knees. Key to the knee joint, as you can see with mine, they look bent, but I'm not bending my knees. Bending my knees would be this, and that's not as pleasant and as healthy as open, right? So just take a couple moments and a little bounciness to feel similar to what I did with the elbows. You want the knees to have a similar bouncy quality, so you can create actually little reverberations through your body, right? A little bouncy. See if you can even bounce to the point where you let your heels come a little up and down. Feel the ball of your foot as your root. Now, as you keep doing that a little bit more, we're just kind of shaking loose what's stuck. Look at my hands. Look at my fingers. I'm not stiff like this, but soft, so that they end up doing this little quiver movement. And I'm not doing that. I'm just getting out of the way. So feel that softening. And then someday you can even bounce. Let the arms hang. Let them be released, relaxed. And then at the slow that bounce down, slow it down, shrink it down, and just at the bottom of that bounce. So, right, if we were bouncing, we were going up and down, right? So at the bottom where we're loaded and ready to start bouncing, but we're not bouncing, that's the Tai Chi stance. That's how it's a work. It's a bit of work here that's not present if we're locked and stiff like this. Instead, we're shook loose and in our bodies in this sort of fluid, bouncy, ready way. Now, rising hands. Hands go forward and up, and then sink and down. Rising hands and down. Now you might think it's just the arms or shoulders working, but again, with this feeling of this bouncy body, feel the whole body. It's kind of like the legs straighten and then the legs sink a little bit. So the whole body. One more. Now on this one, the hands float back and settle down all the way through. Again, forward, then they float back and down. Forward, back, down. Now how about the opposite of that? Up, unfurl, down. Up, unfurl, down. Can you do that with the whole liquid body? So your whole body is part of that experience of the surge. Let's do one more of each. Forward and up, pung, back to on, sinking. And then this movement here is a prep for Lu. And good. Now hands turn towards each other just like I have them here. Notice whenever I show this, a lot of times what I see from people is this. People sharpen up all their joints and do a whole bunch of stuff. It's way more just subtle, very subtle. But notice the palms like you're cradling something. Now here, arms go out, staying nice and round, out like wings. And then sink the shoulders, sink the arm bones, sink all the way back and in. Do that again. Wings, big. Now feel as you hold this position, this space here, like Stanley, remember we were talking before, you don't want this. This is what I see in your body right now. I want this. So lock those elbows out, lock your elbows, and make sure you're moving from this shoulder joint. Feel that space. One of the ideas in the Qigong is that this is a space that can fill with life force and allow us to have these beautiful movements. And when you practice this stuff, you feel it. So again, it's not tight, compressed body lifting your arms, but unfurling these massive, massive crane wings. And then down. And again, unfurl your big, massive crane wings. Now here, roll the arms so the palms face the sky and fold at the elbows. Hands come in. And then they just settle through. Again, massive crane wings. And then roll and fold. And down. One more. Relaxed arms. So ideally we've cleared this space, we've invigorated this space so the arms bouncy, loose, and weak. Not weak, but soft, not trying to be strong, soft. Now shift to the right. Feel that left leg emptier. Shift to the middle and to the left. Right leg emptier. Shift to the right. Turn the belly button slightly right. Stay turned right as you shift to the left, turn to the left. Shift to the right, turn to the right. So now the shoulder gate space being sort of buoyant, you might say, it's very natural for the arms to do what you see mine doing. But notice I'm not forcing it, I'm not making some overt movement. I'm doing the shift and the turn from the belly button. And the shift and the turn. The other thing there's a certain alignment you don't want to lose, right? If we get too sloppy like this, then things can sort of get messy. So keep that central line feeling very intact as you move, and you'll get better results in terms of what we're looking for. Now, as you come across to your right, put right hand behind your back, left hand only. Sweep it across, brush knee, turn it around, sweep it across, sweep the leg. So it's a shift the leg, turn the belly button, then the hand. Shift the leg, turn the belly button, the hand. Turning the palm around, so it's palm facing left as we shift. Now remember your crane wing. Big crane wing from the shoulder. Roll and fold. Shift the leg, turn the belly button. The push goes across and down into the water. One more. Shift, brush, wing, roll, shift, turn, push. Now as this left hand comes down, right hand comes out, brush and sweep, left hand behind your back. Shift, turn, do a couple just down in the water. But there's so much that can be practiced with just a simple move and feeling the order of events. It's shift leg, turn belly button, then the hand. Shift leg, turn belly button, then the hand. Don't let the hand lead. Shift, turn. Now crane wing, roll and fold, load it up. Shift, turn, push. Down into the water. Shift, turn, sweep. Shift, turn, push. Now, as the right hand comes down, left hand comes up. Roll and fold. Shift, turn, brush, knee, push. Hands change. Shift, turn, brush, knee, push. Hands change. Again. Now, as right hand comes down, left hand comes up, leave your hands like so. Right foot steps a smidge behind, shift back and sit in your back leg like it is the only thing you have to keep you up. So trust the back leg to be that, so this front leg can empty. Lift it slightly, or just touch the floor. Then set it down, toes turned out, change. So now left hand comes down, right hand comes up. Now the left leg's the only leg you got. And then maybe you empty that right leg and lift it. Change. So we don't worry about lifting the left leg until we completely commit now to the right leg. And then you say, okay, it's empty. It can raise, it can lower, and then shift. So make that change. Feel the discernment, distinction, change. Golden rooster, standing on one leg. Good. Now step parallel again, parallel both feet. Bring left hand down, standing bear. Once again, shift to your right leg, put right hand behind. Now as you sweep left hand across the leg, vapor up, right in front of the chest, height, shift left, turn left, cloud. As it reaches its end point, it naturally goes around the circle down. In the water, shift, turn, sweep the lake, vapor up. Shift, turn, cloud across sky. And down. Shift, turn, lake, vapor. Shift, turn, cloud, rain. Now, sweep back across the leg, stay down, bring right hand out, bear across, left hand behind the back, vapor right hand up, shift right, turn right, then the hand comes across. Do not let the hand lead. Rain the hand down. It should be behind the play as we shift, turn, then comes the hand. It vapors up. Now it's behind us as we're heading back to our right. Shift, turn, and down. Shift left, turn left, sweep. This time as it vapors up, bring the left hand out. It's in the lake as well, or it's in the lake down low. Shift and come across. Now it's vapor and rain. Now, shift first. turn second, cloud lake. Vapor and rain, shift first, turn second, cloud lake, vapor rain. Shift, turn, cloud lake, added challenge. As you vapor rain, can you bring your right foot in and back out? Shift and turn. What this does is it checks to see, as you vapor and rain, is your left foot truly empty? In, out. Shift and turn, cloud lake. Vapor rain, first level would be vapor and rain, step in, out. Then shift and turn. First do vapor rain, step in, step out. Shift and turn. Eventually, as you vapor rain, you go in, out. In, out. Last one, each side. Now, left hand down, bear, bear. Sink cheetah belly. Hands in front of belly. Hands cross slightly and come down. Now I'm going to turn slightly angled so you can see the angle of what I'm doing, but you can stay facing forward as you're standing. If you need hand on a countertop, hand on a walker, hand on something for safety, please have that ready for balance. So as I turn this way, shift your weight slightly to the right leg, your right leg. Left foot empty, place it out in front, the heel touching the ground. Now shift your weight forward into that front leg, emptying the back leg, the toes still touching the floor. Then shift back. So this is our level 1 walking training. Shift forward. Now the key is there's some forward, but mostly it's about opening the hip, knee, ankle in that front foot and getting through to the ball of the foot. Same going backwards. There's of course some backwards, but most of what's important is throughness. Down to let that leg be your support leg. So this one's empty. And then shift, change, go through to the point where back foot's empty. So level 2 is you do what I just did. You actually disconnect the foot from the floor, a little lift and down. But if as you lift, you tip, that's not it. You got to commit better and then lift and then shift and lift. Now there's a level 3 to this. I'll show it, but I imagine many of you should not do it, right? But here's what it is. You come back. When you're back, you essentially do a golden rooster and then back down. And then this part's even trickier. Again, you want to have your hand on something for safety, heel to butt and to a golden rooster or a chamber. And then you reach back. So you're practicing the half step forward, the half step back. Right? That's level 3. Shift, get yourself established. Back foot empty. Good. Now we're going to switch sides. Plant your feet next to each other. I'm going to rotate. You don't need to rotate. You just stay facing forward. Put your weight in your left leg. Put your right foot a little in front, heel touching. Shift. And let the weight puncture the earth through the ball of the foot. Then back. So level 1. Some of you should just stay at level 1 the whole time. Please be aware of that. Where all you're doing is sort of changing. You might only get like 70% in each foot change. That's the beginning of it. Eventually you try to get 0 in the front foot with a light lift. 0 in the back foot, light lift. So what we're doing is called separating empty and full. So we're going, okay, now that leg is my support leg. The other one, I don't need it. Flamingo, right? Maybe you even go level 3, rooster, shift, chamber. And this, we're working on reaching the foot back without putting any weight in it. And then So again, you could be doing all this with a hand on something, hand on a chair, hand on a walker, cane. One more. Change the weight. Once the foot is empty, it can do a whole bunch of stuff. But if it's not empty, you're in trouble. So that's what you're working on is empty. Ah, good. Now put it down next to you. The next challenge for our walking, I'm again going to turn. So now I'm on the other side. Left foot in front, right foot behind. Now level one, we shift, empty the back foot, and it's sort of loaded right now, and you just let it go through. Heel touch. Shift forward. Now you do like the previous exercise. And you go back. Then once that right foot is empty, you just let it swing back. Shift. Empty front foot. So this is level one. Shift, empty, step. Shift. Shift, back, weight, step, empty. So much of it is waiting. Waiting long enough for it to actually empty. Then shifting and waiting for the weight to get through. Two uses of the word wait, right? Wait for the weight. Now, level two on this is as if there's a small little tripwire in front of your right foot, your back foot. You got to lift it and come up and over like a little bicycle. And then shift. And your back foot you lift just for added challenge, flamingo. Then you go back and same thing, like little tripwires behind your front heel. You got to go up and tuck it and reverse it and reach it back. And then empty front foot. Let's do that again. Forward. Oh, feel that little tripwire. Pull the foot. Cycle it through. Shift. Empty back foot. Flamingo. Touch it down. Shift. Oh, there's a tripwire behind that front heel. Lift it. Tuck it. Reach it. And then shift. One more. And there's of course a level 3 to that, but we won't do that today. You can imagine what it is. It's just everything's bigger, larger circles. Switching sides. So you don't walk to the side, you just stay facing forward. I'm doing this so you can see, so you can gauge what I'm up to. So now it's right foot in front, heel touching. Level 1, as simple and easy as possible. This is the most like walking of all of them. The others are added challenges so that walking becomes easier. Shift, but the key is that you're actually waiting for it to be empty, moving it empty, and then deciding that's now time to put body weight there. So level 1. One more level 1. Level 2, tripwire. Lift, touch, shift. Feel the tripwire go up, over it. Shift. Flamingo. Touch down, shift. Feel the tripwire, so you got to go up, tuck, reach, and back. Slightly up. Again. If you ever go to the, you ever seen like the long-legged birds walking through the marsh looking for fish or whatever they are going to try and hunt? They're often doing this type of walk, trying to not upset the scenery so that all their food would dart away. So they can't move fast, and they often have to just enter that foot into the water very lightly, shift and change onto it. Be ready to advance. One more. Right, shift. And they might have to, right, they're looking for the fish the whole time. Put the foot in the water, shift. So there's practicality here as well. Last one, backwards. And even. Sing chi to belly. This is known as shogun, closing gong. So in the course of a qigong tai chi practice or any practice, moments of closing, let everything return, find the center, return to stillness and nourishing. It also trains our life force to do that better and better, to go out, do, but then come home, right? Hands crossed slightly. Now our last walking practice or leg practice we'll do. Shift your weight to your left leg. Turn your right foot out 5 or 10 degrees. Doesn't have to be much. Comfortable. Shift your weight into and through that leg, sort of like Golden Rooster. Empty that left foot and then step it forward. Now the key here is try not to let the leg migrate across this way, but do what you can to keep width in your stance. Now left toes point straight ahead. Shift forward. Turn your hips to point straight ahead, your navel to point straight ahead. Now keep it pointing straight ahead as you shift back into your back leg, ball of foot, shift forward into your front leg about 70%, so it's not a full 100. And then back and forward. Now as you come forward, bring your hands up in front, palms facing up like you're gonna receive something. Here comes something. Shift back and receive. Bring into your chest. Turn the palms to face forward-ish. Shift forward and then let the hands just gently float forward. Turn the palms. Shift back and receive. So what we're working on here is this sort of almost like a rubber band effect or a delayed reaction. It's not hands and then shift, right? That wouldn't make as much sense as shift out through the hands. So you see that kinetic chain. Same thing here. You don't pull in and then shift back. It's shift back, receiving, and then the hands will come in. Turn the palms. Shift and then push. This helps the fluid body. Shift and receive. The whole body, one big fluid system. Soft fingertips. When you push, don't think of pushing with the heel of your hand or even the palm. Fingertips. Fingertips. Sensitive fingertips. Receive. Feel the enlivened hands. Sensitive. Highly sensitive. 5 times the amount of nerve endings in our hands than somewhere else surface area wise. Now, as you receive this one, we're going to change sides. So hands come down, bring that front foot back, toes turned out, shift and change. Now, empty right foot, steps forward. Try to keep, as I said before, width. So not here, out. Shift forward, belly button point straight ahead. Shift back. Forward 70, back 100. Hands. Forward 70, push. Back 100, receive. Push. Like the ocean. Soothing. One more. Now, as you come back, step your front foot back, toes turned out, straighten everything up, drop everything out of the body. Change sides. Right weight goes down through the right leg, left foot empties, hands come up, step. shift and push. Turn palms, shift and receive. Empty left foot steps back, toes turned out. Straighten all the way up, hands drop. Sink through left leg, hands float up as you step, right foot empty, shift and push. Shift back, receive. Step back, straighten. Shift, down through right leg, step, push, receive. Step back, toes turned out, straighten. One more of each. Sink, load up, feel that loaded power, and unleash. Receive back into the loaded, step back, zero out. Load the right leg as you set the hands and step, and then receive. Let's do one more of each, just for good measure. Slow, controlled. Parallel feet. Shogun. Middle embrace, where your hands are not touching the belly, but they're hovering in front of. Elbows are not, they're soft. Then place one hand over navel, other hand over that hand. Swirling, small to large. Swirling from the belly, getting larger. We do 18 circles, getting larger, larger, larger. Eventually to the point where we're going below the belly button, down around genital area, above belly button to the lower front ribs, not into your heart and chest, across the diaphragm, and then down, around the whole belly. On number 18, we go under, switch directions, 12 getting smaller, smaller, smaller. The navel is the center of that spiral that we're spiraling towards. Around 10, 11, 12, they should be very small circles, very, very small. Sealed. And then just very brief, rub hands, freestyle self-massage. Face, scalp back to the skull, up the neck, side of the neck, ears, scissor cut circles. Jaw, heart, liver, spleen, solar plexus, inguinal region, pubic region, groin, sacrum and tailbone and lumbar. And then if possible, we'd finish with down the outer legs, around the feet, up the inner to the navel. Some of you might just go like this, just down and around and up, because sometimes getting low like that is not healthy. So you might sink just a teeny touch and go around with the hands sort of in your mind and come up. So we're going around the back, down the back side, around the feet, up the inseam to the belly button. One more. And then our final gesture we can all do, up the outer, turn the palm, down the inner. Up the outer, down the inner. Same arm 5 times. a nice little brain challenge. Shogun. Seal. Hands resting on navel. 3 breaths. Thank you, everybody. Finishing with the Taoist bow. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday. If you guys have questions, you want to chat for a moment, feel free to stick around. Otherwise, you can wander off at your discretion. Unmute yourselves if you have anything to say. Everyone is muted.
I'm sorry, Otto, I was late.
That's
I had
okay.
my iPad.
You're here. You were there for most of it. I saw that. That was good.
Thank you, Otto. It was great.
Yeah, thanks, Stanley. Good
Yeah.
seeing you, brother.
Yeah.
Talk
Thank
soon.
you. Thank you.
So Otto, I assume next week and the following week, we're not having class, right? Or
You know, that's a good question because I feel like I saw Kathy send something out. It's possible New Year's that we are having some. Oh, let me turn off.
okay.
That's
okay.
possible. I would imagine we're not having